couple of members that are coming, just wait till one of the person gets here. Before we start, Ms. Guzman will be joining us virtually, and I need a motion to allow her to do that.
May I just ask her first? Ms. Guzman, can you please state why you cannot participate in the meeting in person and where you're located?
Sure. I am located in Woodbridge, Virginia. I had an accident back in June 17 where I fell into a ditch and I'm fractured my ankle and I'm unable to drive through July 31st.
Thank you.
All right.
I would move to allow her to attend.
All right. All right. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Ms. Ashley, could you call the roll, please?
Yes. Ms. Ashworth?
Present.
Mr. Austin?
Aye.
Reverend Bailey is not here. Ms. Clymer?
Present.
Ms. Guzman is attending via conference call. Sheriff Hill? Captain Martz?
Here.
Lieutenant Colonel Phelps?
Here.
Ms. Smith is not here. And Mr. Torres is not here.
All right.
We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next is public comment time. Do we receive any comments that we need to bring before the jail board?
No, sir. I did not receive comments.
Okay, thank you. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda for our meeting tonight, July 17th?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, thank you. How about I need a motion to approve the minutes of our regular meeting that was held on May 15th, 2024?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Superintendent?
Good evening.
Good evening.
If you turn to page,
Before you start,
sorry.
I want to announce that our meeting tonight is on YouTube. I forgot to announce that. So, all right, Superintendent, please continue.
you would look on page 10. The operational capacity of the ADC is 871. The management capacity is 1320. The average daily population for 2024 was 539. In May, we had 2 transports to the state system, 5 in June. We had 631 commitments in May, 669 commitments in June. We had 633 releases in May, 635 in June. In process only, not committed, we had 68 in May, 57 in June. The complex average daily population for May was 524, with a high of 539 on the 21st of the month. The average daily population for June was 535, with a high of 555 on the 30th of the month. Turn to page 14 for the objectives. Number 1 is implementation strategies for increasing recruitment. I've listed the avenues that we advertise for vacancies at the ADC. We currently have 64 vacants, 1 staff and 11 civilian.
Is it 11 civilians?
Yes. Number 2 is the Prison Rape Elimination Act. We've had no substantiated PREA complaints for these 2 months. Number 3, career development. We had mandatory in-service training for all 4 shifts. We had master jail officer training for 14 new jail officers in May and June. Major McMahon attended lawful employment training conducted by the Compensation Board in Richmond. For number 4, the work is scheduled to be completed in the main pipe project August 31st. It is going very well. They have a lot of areas of the building already completed. Number 5, EBDM. Since October 19th, 2021, we've given out 810 boxes of Narcan to inmates upon release. We currently have an average of 149 inmates on medically assisted treatment. On page 15, it starts your graphs. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. That's all the reports. I have a few comments to make though. The ADC had their golf tournament in June. We will have another one next June. If any of the jail board members play golf, you're welcome to join us. Everybody has a fun time out there. The sheriff was there playing golf. We had a visit on June 26th by the county executive, Mr. Shorter, the deputy county executive, Mr. Haynes, and Mr. Alexander. The overall visit was successful. We took them on a tour of the facility. We presented a PowerPoint presentation, and you have a copy of the presentation we gave them. And we had small lunch for them. And I'd like to recognize Mr. Austin's group for next week is Supervision Week. Anybody have any questions?
Any question for the superintendent? His report? All right, thank you, Superintendent. Ms. Glick, got good news for us tonight for the budget report?
I'll take it easy on you guys. It's short tonight. If you flip to page 34, we'll briefly go through the June 2024 fiscal year and preliminary look of the ADC. This is before any year-end accruals, so we're not final yet, and I will present that to you later down the road. But for now, it's looking like we're on target to exceed our budgeted revenues just by a tad, and that is due just to some timing of receiving some of the SCAP award money. We got 2 years worth of awards this year just because the state caught up on that. So we finished the year right around 63.4 million in revenues. Our City of Manassas utilization rate ended at 11.5%. Which brought our estimate of the fiscal year 2024 true up to them to estimate a refund to the city in the amount of about $194,000. That's what we expect. So that'll be great news for them. And mainly that is a result of our pipe project crossing the fiscal year. We budgeted the entire amount to be spent this year, and it's gonna cross into next year. So we'll give them back a little bit of money for that. On the expenditure side, we ended with a 3.3 or 5.2 budget surplus for the year, and that is really just a result of our vacancy savings. We are pretty tight on our operating expenditures. We came in slightly below budget, but that is after we requested a replenishment during the year of $1.3 million. So without that replenishment, we would have actually fallen short on the operating expenditure side. And that is mainly a function of, as I've mentioned in the past, some increased medical cost and also repairs and maintenance. A lot of HVAC issues in this facility this year. So that's where we sit on the expenditure side. Just to recap our ICE or Homeland Security billing, we had additional billing in the month of May, billed at just 1 day for ICE inmates at $84.63, which is the daily rate. And then in June, we actually billed for 8 days, which was a significant increase, just because of the number of days that this person stayed with us, for a $677 billing month on that side. Then just to update you on a couple things that we have in terms of business with the county. We just went to the board yesterday with our request for the lobby renovation funding out of our fund balance, and the board approved that unanimously on the consent agenda item. So that's great news, and we'll get started with that project as soon as we can with our FFM partners on that. And then we anticipate going to the board in September for the funding to for the first year of operating expenditures on a lease arrangement we may enter into for the training center space, as I've discussed with you previously. So I'll update the board in September on where we sit with that. But we have identified a property right around here that we're working on trying to secure. The opportunity with the city of Manassas that we were looking at for the old police building did not come to fruition. So we will explore this other opportunity. But we're excited about that. To give you the commissary look, preliminary again, as of June 30, 2024, we are sitting at a 63% of budget spend in the commissary, and mainly that's just a function of being, very fiscally conservative with that funding, because that funding obviously is inmate money, and spending that appropriately on programming and things that benefit our inmates. The gym flooring project is almost complete, so I did request to carry forward that chunk of money into fiscal year 2026. I will not need all of that, so when I present the 25 budget, I'm getting ahead of myself, I will reduce that amount in the budget, as I mentioned that I would do, so we will have some savings in the coming budget for that. We did some year-end ramp-up spending, so in disclosure with our SOP 5107, some items that fell above that $2,500 threshold to tell the board about. We did replenish our games for the inmates. We spent just short of $4,000 on new table games for our inmates, and then we also purchased the medical equipment that we had funding for the year, and that included 2 portable blood pressure machines that came in at a little over $9,000. Other than that, our commissary cash balance as of June 2024 sits at $2.1 million, and then our inmate account balances fell at $51,326 as of June 30. And that is all I have. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer those.
Any questions for me, please?
Yeah, I have a question.
Of course.
Is there a reason why inmates cannot individually or somehow use Medicaid while they're in jail? Has that been?
They do. So our so we have to cover if they were to go to the hospital, that initial intake into the emergency room. Once they're admitted, inmate Medicaid kicks in, and we enroll everyone in that we can. So the agency is protected in that way, but that initial visit at the ER prior to a admission, that status change is not covered. Yes. And then also, to be clear, inmate Medicaid does not cover outpatient surgeries, and that is a very expensive portion of what we spend on our inmates. A lot of surgeries are just
Is that because of
outpatient.
state Medicaid
It
regulations?
is, it's
and-
just the rules, unfortunately. Yes. So if they were admitted into the hospital and had to have a surgery, they would cover that. But a lot of surgeries, as you know, have moved to outpatient. And that's where we are very vulnerable. That's where I requested the replenishment for the year, was because of a couple big ones on that.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions for Ms. Clay?
Just a follow-up question. Does the Commonwealth is there a Medicaid plan that is called inmate Medicaid?
Yes, it's pretty specific for while they're incarcerated. And then, of course, that can carry out and they can keep that coverage if they qualify for Medicaid outside of here as well. And we do enroll as many as we possibly can, of course. Any questions?
Any other questions? Thank you. Ms. Pender, could you please introduce the motion for our closed meeting?
Yes, sir. The motion is to go into closed meeting for a personnel matter relating to assignment of specific employees and legal advice related thereto pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A1 and 8.
Could I have a motion and a second? Excuse me, could I have a second?
I can't make the motion.
No,
unless
I got
you make it.
Second?
Second.
Second. Please call the roll, please.
Ms. Ashworth?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Ms. Clymer? Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Sheriff Hill?
Yes.
Captain March?
Yes.
Lieutenant Colonel Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Torres?
The motion passes unanimously, and could everyone leave the meeting? I'm gonna call you back in a few minutes, all right?
Yes, sir.
We're good?
Yes,
Mr. Chairman, we need a motion to certify that the jail board only discussed those matters for which they properly went into closed meeting.
Got a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Please call the roll.
Ms. Ashworth?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Ms. Clymer?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Sheriff Hill?
Yes.
Captain Marks?
Yes.
Lieutenant Colonel Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Torres?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passed unanimous. All right, thank you. Could we have a motion by, please?
Yes, Sheriff Hill, Amy Ashworth, I will move to accept the resignation of Superintendent Peter J. Miletus. Whereas after 42 years of service, Prince William-Manassas Regional Adult Detention Center Superintendent Peter J. Miletus has submitted his letter of resignation to the jail board in order to begin his retirement. Now therefore be it resolved that the Prince William-Manassas Regional Jail Board does accept Superintendent Miletus's letter of resignation effective October 1, 2024, thanks him for his long and dedicated service, and wishes him the best in his retirement.
Give a second.
I'll second.
Any questions? Please call the roll.
Ms. Ashworth?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Ms. Clymer?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Sheriff Hill?
Yes.
Captain Marks?
Yes.
Lieutenant Colonel Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Torres?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimous. Thank you. Ms. Clymer, you have a motion for us.
I do. This motion is to extend the appointment of Major George Herlock as acting superintendent. Whereas Major George Herlock has been serving as acting superintendent of the Prince William-Manassas Regional Adult Detention Center since March 20th, 2024. And whereas Superintendent Miletus has submitted his resignation and a search will be conducted for a new superintendent. Now therefore be it resolved that the Prince William-Manassas Regional Jail Board does hereby extend the appointment of Major George Herlock as acting superintendent until the appointment of a new superintendent.
May I have a second? Any
Second.
questions?
Sorry.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Ashworth?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Ms. Clymer?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Sheriff Hill?
Yes.
Captain Marks?
Yes.
Lieutenant Colonel Phelps?
Yes.
Mr. Torres?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion passed unanimous. Thank you. We have one more motion. Mr. Austin?
Yes, sir. This is a motion to authorize actions relating to the search for a new superintendent. Whereas the Prince William-Manassas Regional Adult Detention Center Superintendent Peter J. Miletus has submitted his letter of resignation to the jail board, and the jail board has accepted his resignation. And whereas the jail board desires to conduct a nationwide search for a new superintendent, and whereas the jail board desires that a personnel committee comprised of its members assist in reviewing application of candidates. Now therefore be it resolved that the Prince William-Manassas Regional Jail Board does hereby authorize Sheriff Hill as chair of the board to work with the Prince William County Human Resources Office to conduct a nationwide search for a new superintendent, and authorize creation of a personnel committee to review applications of candidates for superintendent and to advise on other matters related to the search for a new superintendent. The committee is to be chaired by Sheriff Hill and comprised of 2 other jail board members selected by Sheriff Hill, and the committee will select up to 5 candidates to be interviewed by the jail board.
May I have a second? Any questions? Please call the roll.
Ms. Ashworth?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Ms. Clymer?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Sheriff Hill?
Yes.
Captain Marks?
Yes.
Lieutenant Colonel Phelps,
Yes.
Mr. Torres.
Yes.
Motion passed unanimous. Thank you. Let's start with jail board members' comments. I'll start with you, Ms. Clymer, and we'll come this way.
Sure, just one comment, which is that I was recently reappointed for a second term, so I'll be serving through June of 2028.
Congratulations. Thank you. Mr. Torres?
Yeah, my comments were kind of interwoven with the questions that I already made in the process. The only thing that I'm going to mention is that I want to recognize that Jared Phelps is leaving Prince William County, and unfortunately, and that he's going to better things in terms of he's going to be the chief of police in Jacksonville. I think it's North Carolina.
Yes.
So I want the jail board, since he is here most of the time, not only to recognize him, but to wish him the best in his new endeavors that he will be taking on. It's been a pleasure serving with him, meeting him, and knowing him both as a law enforcement officer and as a person.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I agree with everything Mr. Torres just said, and I also want to thank Acting Superintendent Herlock for continuing to stay on, and wish Colonel Melitas well.
Thank you. Ms. Austin?
I don't have anything additional.
Good, Captain?
No, sir, again, congratulations and good luck to both of you.
Good, good.
As
Steve?
public, I want to say congratulations to Colonel Melitas. 42 years of service is remarkable. Second to only yours, I get so far, but it is he's done a tremendous service to this county, and I hope since I won't be here, the board does. I know the board will do a great send off for him for his retirement, and congratulations to you, Superintendent Herlocker, on continuing the tradition of the ADC. I wish you all the best.
I too want to wish you well when you get to Jacksonville, North Carolina. I don't know if you like vinegar-based barbecue and sweet tea. There's a lot of that down there. All right, so I know you'll enjoy that.
I'm game for sweet tea.
Right,
So.
good, man, good, good. I go to the area sometimes, so I'm gonna stop in to see you while I'm
Please
down
do.
there. Okay,
Please
best
do.
of luck to you.
Look forward to
And
it.
I'll call the sheriff down there and tell him to be nice to you. Board members, thank you so much. We covered some important matters tonight, and I appreciate your participation and your support, so thank you so much. I now need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you, Ms.
night.
Guzman. Thank you. Good night.